is there so much poverty in America? My new book answers that urgent question. And it does so not only by drawing on cutting-edge research and my reporting in some of the poorest neighborhoods of the country, but also by telling it straight, cutting through the abstractions and stale myths we've long lived with to spark a new debate about poverty and to spur us to action. Because the truth is that poverty persists in American life because many of us benefit from it. We exploit the poor in labor, in housing, in financial markets. We have designed an unbalanced welfare state where we give the most to families that have plenty already. And we continue to segregate ourselves, drawing walls around our communities, creating pockets of concentrated wealth, but also pockets of concentrated despair. This book draws on history and economics, politics and sociology. It engages with literature, with philosophy and ethics, and it pulls from the hard sciences too, particularly from psychology and medical research. Because whatever our field of study and whatever issue we care most deeply about, America's yawning inequality matters for all of us. Everywhere I go talking about this book, I have been met by people troubled by American poverty and hungry for solutions. This is especially true for college students from all walks of life who are eager to better understand and to confront this problem.
It really opens my eyes to how poverty is interconnected to so many other issues like the racial wealth gap and housing justice and labor rights.
This book made me feel surprisingly empowered after reading it and feeling like that the problem of alleviating poverty is a solvable problem.
I think the message is incredibly important and urgent, just showing how no matter what we're interested in, whether it's science or art or engineering or English language and literature, whatever it might be, all of these things are actually connected to poverty.
This book is not just for people in academia. It's not just for people in privileged institutions, but this book can be taught across public institutions. It can be taught in high schools, and really thinking of creative ways to engage high school students in conversation as well.
It really shows us the many ways that every single one of us can contribute to help alleviate poverty, and also shows that there really are options that not just us, but our government can turn to help this problem if we just shine more light on it.
Poverty is not just something that should be fought by people who are experiencing poverty. It's something that we all have a responsibility in ending. And I think although some people may be able to play a bigger role than others, that doesn't mean that we can't take steps in our individual lives to help tackle this issue.
I'm really proud that my last book, Evicted, Poverty and Profit in the American City, was adopted by dozens of schools for their first year experience. But Poverty by America, it tackles a much bigger question. Because poverty, it's more than the housing crisis. It can't be reduced to a single issue, but it can be overcome. This is why I have dedicated several chapters to making a case for how we can end poverty in America. We must lift the floor by rebalancing our safety net. We must empower the poor by reining in exploitation. And we have to invest in broad prosperity, turning away from segregation. Ending poverty will require new policies and new political movements, to be sure. But it will also require that each one of us, in our own way, become poverty abolitionists, finding ways to divest from poverty in our daily lives, and recognizing that we are intimately connected to the problem, which means we're also connected to the solution. I want to tell you about two unique resources that come with Poverty by America. The first is a giant PowerPoint deck that covers material from every chapter of the book. With over 100 slides, I've really worked to bring this book to life in a whole new way. And you can take these slides and edit them and tailor them to fit individual classes. The second resource is a website. It's called endpovertyusa.org. And this website contains poverty facts about each state, but it also contains a searchable database of thousands of social service providers actively striving to fight poverty in their own backyards. So if you want to connect your students with community organizations in your area, this website makes that easy. There is an enormous amount of human suffering in this land, as Michael Harrington wrote in The Other America, a book published 60 years ago They help to energize the war on poverty. All this American suffering is shameful and unnecessary. And because it's unnecessary, there's hope. A new nation is possible, and powerful solutions are within our collective reach. We all have a role to play in the fight against poverty, whether we come from hardship or abundance, whether we go into law or medicine, business or finance, public service or the arts. We can all do our part. So I hope you will join me on this mission of poverty abolitionism. It's a mission not only to better understand the problem, but also to create a more just and vibrant country.